What's up, team? Savi here with Mixed Fitness Arts. For the next half hour, I'm going to take you through a warm-up, a strength, as well as an endurance circuit with a quick mobility-oriented cool down. If you're trying to get stronger, fitter, and more flexible, this workout is for you. Grab your dumbbells and some water, and let's get started. For our warm-up, we're gonna start off with some jumping jacks, going into arm circles, leg swings, bodyweight squats, and some dynamic lunges. We'll do 45 seconds on and 15 seconds off. Let's start with jumping jacks. You're gonna reach your hands overhead, kicking your feet out to the sides, and keep it moving for 45 seconds. We wanna get the oxygen and blood flowing through our muscles to get us ready for our workout. Keep going, we're halfway there. Good job, guys. We're at 30 seconds, 15 more seconds. Let's get that heart rate up. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Next, we'll be going into arm circles to get our shoulders nice and warmed up, our joints lubricated and ready for our workout. If you need to grab some water, go ahead and take a sip now before we get started again. All right, guys, arm circles. Arms out to the side, reaching big. We'll be here for 45 seconds. All right, we're almost at the halfway point. We're gonna switch directions in 3, 2, 1, backwards arm circles, reaching big. Keep it going, I know it burns. The warm-up sometimes is the toughest part. Good job, guys, 5 more seconds, backwards arm circles. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna rest for 15 seconds. Next, we're gonna do some leg swings to get our hips nice and warmed up. All right, in 3, 2, 1, we'll start with the left side, just swinging back and forth, and side to side. And back and forth, and side to side. If you need to hold on to something, go ahead and grab onto something for balance. And switch sides. Kicking from the front to the back and side to side. Feeling your quads down to your glutes and your gluteus medius. Warming up those hips. All right, 15-second rest. We're gonna do some bodyweight squats. All right, for bodyweight squats, just kick your feet out to right about shoulder width apart, hands in front or on your hips, wherever it's comfortable. And we're gonna go for 45 seconds. Going to a comfortable depth and powering back up. Keep your core engaged. Even though it's just body weight, we want to maintain good form the whole time. Woo! Feel the burn. We have 15 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys. Take your full 15-second rest because we have dynamic lunges next. I like to put my hands on my hips, helps me stay balanced, and you're going to do a reverse lunge back, all the way to the ground. Keep it nice and slow. All right, let's get started. Last warm-up before we get into our workout. Getting that full range of motion, nice stretch in the hamstrings, and push up through your front leg. Almost there, 20 more seconds, and then we can get started with our workout. Good job, guys. 10 more seconds left. All right, now let's get started with our strength workout. Great job with your warm up. Now we're going to move into the strength portion. We're going to have 30 seconds on and 30 seconds off. That means push it for all 30 seconds throughout each of the movements. First, we're going to do some push-ups. So you're gonna start with your feet kicked out into a plank position, hands right outside shoulder width apart. If you need it to be a little bit easier, you can start kneeling. We're going to push out. For some chest-focused push-ups, if you want more tricep focus, keep your elbows tucked in. We're gonna keep that for 30 seconds. Good job, guys. Make sure you lock out your elbows at the top, really flex those muscles and keep your core engaged, kind of like you're in a plank. Make sure you're breathing the whole time, getting the oxygen flowing. Good job, 10 more seconds. And rest. Here, you're going to grab a dumbbell and hold it like a goblet. You're going to sit down and aim in between your knees if you're comfortable. If this is too difficult for you, feel free to do body weight. All right, let's get started. Good job, guys. Play around with your stance and see what's most comfortable. For me, I like to have my feet right outside shoulder width apart. You can have a little bit more of a narrow stance or a wider stance. Feel free to modify depending on your comfort. All right, take a break. Next, we're going to move into dumbbell bent over rows. So you'll need both of your dumbbells for this one. You're gonna wanna hinge back, kind of like you're in a deadlift, and bring your elbows close to the sides of your body, retracting your shoulder blades back and squeezing. Aim to get the squeeze right in the center, like you're holding a pencil in between your shoulder blades as you bring the dumbbells up towards your body. Let's get started. So bend over, core engaged, eye gaze a bit up, and elbows tucked in. Squeeze those shoulder blades back. Make each of those reps very intentional, and let's get that back working. Great job, guys. Let's do 10 more seconds. Good. You want to keep your head in line with your spine and rest. All right, for our next workout, we're gonna hit those shoulders. So you'll grab your dumbbells again. Starting here, wrist over your elbows, stack those joints, and you're gonna reach overhead, like you're reaching for the sky or the ceiling if you're inside of a gym. Bring it back down and then reach up, lock out those elbows. So again, core engaged, feet under your shoulders, dumbbells up starting by your chest, and really stretch up, lock out those elbows, hit those triceps, and come back down to your starting position. Good job. Really stretch on the way up, reach, and all the way down. Very nice. You guys are doing great. 10 more seconds. Good. Give me one more rep. And rest. All right. You have 30 seconds on the clock to rest. We're going to move into a plank. So you can put those dumbbells aside. And we're going to get started. If you need, you can come into a high plank. It'll be a little bit easier, but if you can challenge yourself, come down into a low plank. The whole time you want to keep your core engaged, like you're pulling your belly button into your spine, flexing and holding deep without sticking your booty out. Make sure it's nice and tucked. All right, let's get started. So again, you don't want your butt too high up or too low down. Nice and engaged, belly button in, abs flexed, head in line with your spine. You can look at the mat or your hands and keep breathing the whole time. Good job, guys. Almost there. 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Very nice. All right, we're gonna repeat that 2 more times for the strength portion of our workout. You guys are doing great. Now's a great time to grab some water if you need. All right, we're gonna go back into push-ups. In 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys. Again, if you want it more tricep focused, keep your elbows close in. But if you want it more chest focused, you can do a little bit of a wider stance with your hands and push out. Great job. 3 more seconds. Nice. All right, 30-second break. We're gonna move back into those dumbbell squats. So grab just one dumbbell, hold it up by your chest, feet at a comfortable stance. I like mine right outside shoulder width apart, and make sure you squat down. You don't want to be reaching your hips back. Think about sitting down into a chair and back up. All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Dumbbell squats. Good job, guys. Keep that core engaged, elbows in between those knees, sit down and explode back up. Yeah, 15 more seconds of this. Great job. Let's get a couple more reps in and then rest. Very nice. Next, we're gonna move back into our dumbbell rows. So go ahead and grab your second dumbbell. Here you're gonna hinge back like you're in a deadlift, and again, retract those shoulder blades back, aiming for the center of your sports bra. All right, you have 10 seconds on the clock. How you feeling? All right, guys, let's get started. Dumbbell rows. Great job. Push those shoulder blades together like they're trying to touch. Elbows in, grazing the side of your body. You're doing great. 10 more seconds. And rest. Very nice. Want to keep those dumbbells close. You can put them down while you rest if you'd like. We're gonna move back into those dumbbell shoulder presses. Feel free to grab some water. I'm definitely going to. All right, let's get back into it. Dumbbell shoulder presses. Let's safely grab those dumbbells up towards your chest and reaching towards the sky. If the dumbbells are feeling a little too heavy, you can add a push press in and catch the dumbbells at the top using your legs to drive the weight up. If not, if you're here to challenge yourself, go ahead and do those shoulder presses. Good job. 5 more seconds. Reach up, stretch towards the sky, lock out those elbows, and bring them back down. You can put the dumbbells to the side, and now it's time to plank. So again, if you're up for the challenge, go ahead and come down on your forearms. If you need it to be a little easier, go ahead and modify your plank by being in a high plank with straight arms. All right, let's catch our breath. 5 more seconds and we're back on. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Back down into a plank, making sure that booty is tucked, abs are in, and hold. Look down on your hands or at the mat. Great job, guys. Hold it. I know it burns, but it's so good. Great job. 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, we finished 2 out of 3 of the rounds. That means we have just 1 more. So again, we're gonna be 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. This is your last strength portion, so really push it through the 30 seconds. And then remember, you always get to rest afterwards. So it'll be push-ups, dumbbell squats, bent over dumbbell rows, some dumbbell shoulder presses, finished off with a plank before we get into the endurance portion. All right, let's get back into those push-ups. Full push-ups if you can. Kneeling if you need to modify it. Great job, guys. Just 10 more seconds. Last one. All right, and rest. Next, we're gonna move back into those dumbbell squats. Grab one dumbbell. Keep it up by your chest. Elbows tucked in, aiming in between your knees. Squat down as low as you can comfortably go and shoot back up to the top. We're gonna get started in 10 seconds. So grab a sip of water if you need, catch your breath, breathe, and let's get started. Try to keep your eye gaze forward. Avoid looking down and tucking your chin. You can pick something ahead to look at if that makes it easier. Whew, I hope your legs are shaking like mine are. One more set. 10 seconds. All right, now we're gonna grab the second dumbbell and move back into rows. Get our back work in. You guys are doing great. One more set of the strength portion of our workout. Almost there. Breathe, catch your breath, grab some water, mentally prepare yourself. This is a tough workout and you guys are doing great. All right, into bent over rows. Here we go. Hinge back, head looking slightly ahead, elbows to the side as you retract your shoulder blades back. Good job, guys. Keep those dumbbells close to your body and put that back to work. Tuck your core in tight and stay stable throughout the whole movement. Nice job, just a few more to go. Okay, great. You can put those dumbbells down while you rest for 30 seconds. We're gonna need them again for our last set of shoulder presses. Again, if you guys need to modify the workout, if you're feeling tired on this third set, I get it. You wanna use some leg drive and do push presses. So bend down a bit and really push up like you're catching the dumbbells at the top. Still push those elbows in, get that nice lockout, and come back to your starting position. All right, let's pick up those dumbbells and get started. Nice job, guys. Get those shoulders working, build that nice frame. Almost done, give me a few more. All right, put those dumbbells down and go into our plank. So we'll get that core work done to finish off before we head into the endurance portion of our workout. Grab some water, stay hydrated, catch your breath. All right, let's get back down into our plank position. If you need to modify, go ahead and go into a high plank on your hands. Pull that core in tight and breathe. Keeping that bum tucked. Make sure it's not shooting up. Keep it in line with your shoulders, hips, knees, down to your feet. Hold, we're almost there. In 3, 2, 1. Great job, guys. You just finished up 3 rounds of the strength portion of our workout. You guys crushed the strength portion. Now let's get into endurance. It'll feel quick. We're gonna go for 45 seconds back to back before you get a minute rest. So let's get started with burpees. I know you all hate burpees, but let's pretend we love them anyway. You're gonna wanna reach up overhead and get full chest contact on the ground. And if you're a little bit more advanced, go ahead and add a jump and come down, kick your legs out into a push-up. But if you're more of a beginner, just get that chest contact, back straight up, reaching overhead. All right, guys, now we're gonna move down into mountain climbers, get that core working. You're gonna be down on your hands, legs kick straight out, tucking your knees in, and really engaging your core. 45 seconds. Keep breathing, keep your butt down, push through your hands, tuck your knees in, and squeeze those abs. Great job. Keep crunching. Let's do 10 more seconds. Good job, guys. You're doing great. All right. Woo, those mountain climbers were tough. Now we're gonna move into some body weight lunges. Since we're doing 2 rounds, let's just stick it to the left side. For the second round, we'll move on to our right. So we're gonna keep our left leg static, stepping back with our right, and this front leg will be our working leg. So push up through that front leg as you step back. In this case, it'll be our left side staying still and our right side stepping back, pushing through that left side. Keep your heel grounded the whole time and power up through that heel. You'll feel this mostly in your quads and your glutes. Great job, guys. Almost done. You're doing great. Keep the control in the front, lightly step back, gently tap your knee down to get that full range of motion, and stand back up. Great job. We're gonna rest for 15 seconds before we move down into some up and down planks. This one is challenging, so get ready. Get ready by catching your breath, grabbing some water. We're gonna go down into the mat and get started. If this is too difficult, feel free to just hold a high plank. If you're up for the challenge, go ahead and start your up and down planks for 45 seconds. Coming up onto your hands and back down onto your forearms, going from high plank to low plank. Great job, guys. Keep it going. We have a minute rest after this. Great job. Now's a good time to grab some water. All right, so that's what round 1 looks like for our endurance workout. Round 2 is going to be exactly the same, except for those body weight lunges. We're going to start with our right leg in front. Maybe you did some more challenging variations in the beginning. You're feeling a little worn out, go ahead and move into the easier modifications. Or if you found the first round a little too easy, let's up our progress and try those more challenging, more advanced modifications. You guys are doing great. We just have one more workout before our cool down. So the hard part is almost over. And we'll get started in about 15 seconds. If you want to slow your heart rate down, breathe in through your nose slowly and exhale through your mouth. All right, here we go with burpees. Let's get started for about 45 seconds. Good job, guys. You're doing great. We're almost done. Last round of burpees. All right, give me one more. Woo! All right, good job. Now we have our last set of mountain climbers. We're gonna rest for about 15 seconds and then move on. All right, let's get started with our hands down on the mat, holding a high plank position and tucking your knees in, up towards your chest. Breathe out as you tuck it in and flex those abs. Great job, guys. 10 more seconds. Breathe out, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Very nice. All right, now we're gonna move into our body weight lunges. We did the left side for the first round, so let's start with our right leg out in front. Right leg will be our working leg. We're gonna gently step back with our left leg, keeping the control in the front, pushing up through your heel. All right, let's get started. 45 more seconds. Nice job. Gently tap that knee down to the ground and push back up through your right leg. You guys are doing great. Keep it going. Gotta even it out. Nice job, everyone. About 10 more seconds left. Good, give me a few more reps. We're almost there. One more. Very nice. Now we're gonna rest for 15 seconds. Again, we're gonna finish up with our up and down planks, starting with your hands on the mat, up in high plank, and coming down to your forearms for a low plank. We're going to repeat that for 45 seconds, and then we'll start our cool down. Almost there. Ready? Let's get started. So up into a high plank, back down into a low plank. Keep breathing, keep the oxygen flowing. You guys are doing great. All right, guys, and that is the endurance portion of our circuit. All right, guys, stick around for our cool down. We're going to catch our breath, lengthen those muscles, stretch out all those parts that we just worked so hard to help out with our recovery. Start with inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth, nice and slow. Catch your breath. We're gonna drop down and start with stretching out those hamstrings. Go ahead and kick your front leg forward, straighten that back leg, and reach forward as far as you can. Breathing the whole time. Go ahead and switch sides. Straighten out your back leg as comfortably as you can. Reach forward, and you'll feel this mostly in your glutes and your hamstrings. Great job. All right, now let's stretch out those quads, starting with our leg out in front. Go ahead and bend that leg. Other leg will be straight. Lay back and feel the stretch in your quads. Very nice. Let's switch on to the other side. One leg straight, one leg bent, and laying back down, back against the mat. Stretch. Very nice. All right, you're gonna come forward. You can be down on your knees, standing up, whatever is comfortable. Stretch your arm across your body. Really feeling it in your shoulders, in your triceps, and switch onto the other side. Very nice. Now grab overhead, touch your hand, and pull. And onto the other side. Great job, guys. Thanks so much for joining my workout today. Hope to see you again for some more strength and endurance training.